Yeeer, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Black Trey from Yeeer Music, Yeeer Network, bringing you another one, man. So, man, we here today, man. We doing the Lloyd Banks, The Course of the Inevitable album. The Course of the Inevitable album. Damn, that's a long title. Banks, what are you doing, man? But it's dope, though. You feel what I'm saying? Overall, I was a Banks fan in the past. I haven't listened to nothing. Actually, he hasn't really put out much music, in the past few years. So it was good to hear from this dude, man. So we gonna go through it, and like we've been doing, we gonna give it a grade at the end. So let's go through the tracks, and I'll let you know what we thought, man. So starting it off with the intro, we got Propane. Off the rip, he comes off. You're like, okay, you already know what he about to do with this. How he coming off on the album? You feel what I'm saying? This is straight flames. Moving on, this number 2, Sidewalks. It had a sick flow on this. The beat was like okay. It felt like a weaker version of the intro, but he was still spitting on it. You know what I mean? Had to respect it, but I was just like, initially when I heard this, I'm like, all right, don't tell me that he's gonna be doing this with the album, where it's kind of like, Banks, he got the talent, but then his beats and his stuff is just gonna be something off about how he's doing it. But I was pleasantly surprised, because on Empathy, the next track, he brings in Freddie Gibbs. So I'm hearing it. Like the first time I'm listening to it, I'm just like, yo, who is that? That sounds like Freddie Gibbs, because I'm getting more familiar with Freddie Gibbs, because I haven't been really listening to new dudes on albums and stuff like that. So I'm just getting back into it. So now, we gonna be reviewing everybody. So I'm just like, yo, that sounds like Freddie Gibbs. We go look up the track list and we look up the features. It's Freddie Gibbs. Gibbs, probably I would say out of the features on this, I would say this is definitely fighting for the top spot or the best feature on the album. I would probably say that. But they both went off though. So this was definitely a flame track. Definitely recommend y'all. If you ain't gonna listen to the whole album, definitely go listen to Empathy, because they both went off on this. Now, Early Exit featuring Rock Marcy. Now this Banks verses on this was structurally and lyrically perfect. But oh man, Rock Marcy, he didn't belong on this track, no offense. Banks, everything about how he went off on this track was pretty perfect. So for this, verse wise, this was the best verses on the album here. So definitely heat. But the reason why I'm not feeling it as much, because Rock Marcy, he brought the energy down. He wasn't as lyrical. He could have definitely been on an album. He's not bad, but Banks was just so perfect on this that it threw me off. But, it was enough to keep me on the song. You feel what I'm saying? So Formaldehyde with Benny the Butcher, this straight up, this is coming off of a straight old school G-Unit mixtape. Banks and Benny, they was not playing. They was not playing on this. Beat was cool. I don't really remember the hook. You feel what I'm saying? But if it even had a hook, I don't even remember. But this one was definitely one of the top tracks on the album. Death by Design, beat was dope, hook was extra fire, song flowed effortlessly. I love this track. This was when I was like, all right, this is the turn up point of the album, when they gonna start going off. You feel what I'm saying? But Formaldehyde really was a turn up. But this right here, I was like, yo, I really like this song. I was like, all right, this ain't a throwaway album. This is when I was like, all right, he's definitely doing something. So now Food with Styles P, G-Unit and Lox, arguably the two of the best lyrical out of the G-Unit and the Lox. Styles and Jada go back and forth, depending on the particular time or what they doing, or preference really, but for me, Styles and Jada, it's hit or miss, either one could take most lyrical anytime. But I think out of G-Unit, Banks is definitely the most lyrical. This track was pretty cool. 3 out of 5 I would say on this one. But Styles P, he definitely was spitting that typical Styles flow, still going off. It was dope though. I like what he was doing with that Crown. Crown was fire. This is my favorite track on the album. Love the beat, love his verses. He fighting for the crown in NYC. You can see it. You feel what I'm saying? So this was definitely dope. Falsified with Ransom. What's this? You hear this beat, and this is something that Ransom would definitely be on. It wasn't the best beat, but it definitely was one of them hood Jersey beats for sure. Speaking of Ransom, A-Team, even though I think they broke up, but shout out to Hitch. You feel what I'm saying? Ransom, he one of the best spitters out of Jersey. They definitely represented on this. They definitely did what both of them was supposed to do. So, I can't complain on that. Break Me Down. I'm surprised, because Banks, he usually struggles when he does his hooks himself. when he brings in like Kerry Hilson, or when he has other people like singing on the hooks and stuff like that, that's pretty cool. But I don't know if he had the budget or if he was bringing in like a lot of like top tier like R&B acts, because sometimes you gotta pay for them hooks and verses and people to write them. So I don't know what his budget was like, but this was definitely a joint that I was rocking with. I like this a lot. I really like this. He was spitting on this. Commitment, another song about trying to make women happy. I don't know. They always got the girl joints, but this is like, I think he was talking about when he was down, like, like she wasn't really rocking with him. Now he's coming back up and now they want to come back around, which is usually the case with a lot of people. So it is what it is. Pain, Pressure, Paranoia. This is like a life story type of joint. He's spitting on this. I like the hook. The song is catchy. It's like really catchy. Beat is fire on this one. Like that. Stranger Things. This is like a filler. I didn't really like this one. Didn't really like the beat. Didn't really like the flow. Didn't really like much of this song at all. I gotta sit with it a little bit. Maybe if I do, maybe I like it a little bit more, but it is what it is. Drop 5, love the beat and flow on this. The hook is cool. It did feel a little bit rushed, towards like the end of the hook, but his verses are really solid though. Definitely like a 4 out of 5 on this one. This was a cool track. Definitely check this one out. Panic featuring Cy Ari the Kid. Cy Ari the Kid, he just dropped the album. I'm gonna be going through that next, so I'm gonna be throwing that on and I'm gonna be reviewing that. He doesn't spit verses on this to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure that I just heard Banks because I was listening out for him because I'm not too familiar with this guy, but this track is fire though. Banks talking about a girl losing faith in a relationship because he going through it. Cy on the hook. That's what I put. Beat is fire. Shorty glamorized by the lifestyle. You feel what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these days, like with the modern women, like they see the lifestyle and they want to do it. And especially if you're a star, you feel what I'm saying? When it seems like you falling off, they're looking for the bigger, better deal. So, it was cool. This is one of my favorite joints on it. Also, Smoke and Mirrors, number 16. Best beat on the album, one of my favorite tracks. Slow and lyrical, just how I like it. This one was definitely fire. So at this point, when you start hitting 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like they're all like the end of the album is really dope. Like when it hit that low, there's only the Stranger Things, number 13, that really kind of threw me off. So I was at Smoke and Mirrors. Yeah, that's my favorite joint. Dishonorable Discharge with Vado. Sick sample, sick beat. Banks was going off. Vado, he has that Harlem Dipset flow. You know what I mean? Like if you mess with Harlem, you mess with Dipset. That's definitely what it was. You feel what I'm saying? I like Vado though, so it was cool for me. He was probably one of the weakest verses on the album. Just in terms of like structure wise. Like none of the features were spit whack verses besides that. What was his name? Rock Marcy. Like his verse was like okay. It wasn't lyrical. Like I don't know. Like it's probably his man or something or his cousin. Yeah, it probably is, because when you got like them type of people who don't really rap and you just bring them on, like you get them paid because they jump on the track. They get some royalties from being on it. So gotta respect it. And then the outro. This beat is fire. I don't know who he's talking to on this, but God bless the dead, man, because he absolutely killed him, man. You feel what I'm saying? This is definitely a dope album, no, man. This is definitely a dope album. I got to give him some credit on this, man. Banks came back and he absolutely delivered. It was only about like 1 or 2 joints that I didn't particularly care for. I think it was like Commitment and Stranger Things. But other than that, man, it was really solid, man. I'm gonna give this drop from my man Banks and A. You feel what I'm saying? I really liked his effort on this. I really liked the beats. I really liked the production. I really liked the hooks. I really liked, the people that he brought on. I thought they really complimented him well. I think this was a really dope album, man. You feel what I'm saying? It's your boy Black Trey, man. We here, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and all that. Let us know what you think about these new videos, man. We going through a whole bunch of albums. If you have any idea about other albums that we should be covering, I'm gonna be getting into some old stuff, but I'm just trying to catch like everything new, and then like once I'm up and I'm in a groove where I can get these out a little bit faster, I'm gonna be knocking them out. So if you know what I'm saying, holla at me. Make sure you guys like and comment at the bottom, man. Show love for the YouTube algorithm, man. Let them know that y'all want to see what's going on. So it is what it is, man. Holla at me. It's your boy Black Trey. We out.
In some of his videos, he only shows his face, and in some ones,
cause we don't work, but you begging for the sequel, headed for the redo, telling you I need you. No, I ain't ready, but I'm telling what should we do. Headed for the sequel, telling all your people, never letting go, that's a necessary evil. Headed for the sequel, telling all your people, never letting go, that's a necessary evil. Baby, one more time, let me touch, maybe one more time. I wanna